If you could take your seats, please. It being 6:34 p.m., I call to order the organizational meeting of the 2018-2020 SREC. That doesn't get a whoop. We're all a little whooped, so we didn't get a whoop. So how about first we go through and let the new members of the SREC introduce themselves to everybody, if that's all right? Yeah, you know what? We got a whole new crew. Why don't we just start at the beginning and introduce everybody over starting in SD1?
And my name is Robert Kessig. I'm from SD1. I live in Wood County. And Dennis Cable was the former representative there, and he's busy with his church growing real fast, so he wanted to devote all of his time to that. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Jerry Fisher, and I am SD2. I live in Rockwall County, and I am replacing Vicki Slayton, who termed out also.
Jason Ross, SD2. I live in Kaufman County, but previously lived in Rockwall and have known Jerry for years. I'm thrilled that she's here to help take over for Vicki, and this will be my second term.
Judy Pareda, SD3, live in Montgomery County, and I will be term limited after this also. It's my pleasure to do this.
Terry Holcomb, SD3 from San Jacinto County. Looking forward to serving with y'all.
I'm Allison Winter. I am from SD4, and I live in Montgomery County, and it's my first term to be on the SREC.
I'm Walter West, Montgomery County with SD4, and I'm fresh bacon.
The official bacon master of the SREC.
I'm Nita Davidson. This is my third term, and I'm from Williamson County.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mike McCloskey. I represent Senate District 5. I live in Williamson County, and this is my third term.
Howdy. I'm Dawn McDonald from Senate District 6 in Harris County. This is my first term.
Hello, y'all. Chris McDonald, Senate District 6, serving East Harris County in Houston. And this is third term.
I guess we're not going in alphabetical or in numerical order. What? Are you going to run it down?
I run it down there.
Hi, I'm Terry Leo, and I'm from Senate District 7, and I live in the Spring, Harris County area, and actually Mark and I are in the same precinct.
Hi, my name's Mark Ramsey. This will be my last term on the committee. I obviously live in Spring as well in SD7, and formerly I am the platform chair of the 2018 convention.
Hello, my name is Susan Fisher, and I'm the new Candy of this group. And I'm going to be the Fisher girl that brings goldfish to the meetings. I'm Fisher with an SCH, and SD8 is Dallas County and Collin County, and I live in the Dallas County portion.
My name's Chuck Branch. I'm also SD8, and she already covered the areas. I'm actually on McKittey City Council, also one of the conservative ones, if that's ever heard of, oxymoron. But glad to be here. This is my first term.
I'm Ann Gebhardt. I'm from SD9. I live in Tarrant County, and this is my first term. I'm replacing Shelley Pritchard, who decided not to run.
I'm Steve Atwell. This is my third term. I'm from Fort Worth, and I'm tired and I'm ready to go home.
He hustles a lot of money from the CRC, by the
I'm Susan Wright, Senate 10, and this is my first full term. I've been here for a year, filling an unexpired term, and I'm excited to be here. I'm from Arlington, Tarrant County.
I'm Warren Norrid. This is my first term, and Arlington, Texas.
Not Virginia. I'm Tanya Robertson. I represent SD 11, and I live in Southeast Harris County. Oh, and this is my third term.
Members, guests. I'm not doing any speeches. I'm not doing speeches. My name is J.T. Edwards. I'm from Senate District 11. I proudly represent us, Brazoria, Galveston, Southeast Harris County. Welcome, new members. We got a lot of work to do. God bless.
I'm Debbie Terry. I'm from Denton County. I represent Senate District 12, and this is my second term.
She's also from Tarrant County, but she doesn't say that. I'm David Halverson from Tarrant and Denton counties, and this will be my third term. Yeah, third term, and so. All right. And I'm the former sergeant at arms for this 2018 convention. All right. And everybody needs to join the Grassroots Club today before you leave. Of course, I don't know if I'm chairman of that or not.
Hi, I'm Dawn Elliott from Lucky SD 13, and I'm from Harris County, Texas, and this is my first year, and it's a privilege to be here.
Good afternoon. My name is Roy Morales. I'm a retired lieutenant colonel, and I'm SD 13, and I'm a newbie.
I'm Jan Duncan. I'm from SD 14. I'm from Austin, and this is my second term.
Hello, and I do live in SD 14, but I'm not Fernando Trevino. I'm his proxy today. My name's Will Lutz, but Fernando was just reelected to a second term, and we're very delighted that he was reelected.
I'm Virgil Cruz. I'm from Houston, SD 15, and this is my fourth term.
I'm Gail Stannart. I'm from Houston, and this is my second term.
Hi, I'm Susan Fountain. I'm from SD 16 and all of North Dallas, from Dallas County. So this is my first term, and I'm proud to work with all of y'all. Look forward to meeting you.
Hi, I'm Randy Dunning. I also represent SD 16 from deep in the heart of Dallas County. I'm former Garland City Councilman. Garland, you know, it's that northern city that has this southern suburb called Dallas. And this will be my fourth term, and it's a pleasure and a privilege to work with this great group.
Hi, I'm Kathleen Wall, and I'm with Senate District 17. Was just elected and represents Harris County, part of Brazoria, part of Harris, and part of Fort Bend. Glad to be here.
I'm Marvin Cleed from Houston, representing District 17. This is my fourth term, and I'm really happy to be here again. Thanks a lot.
Hi, I'm Edie Sinclair. This is my second term. SD 18, we have 21 counties that I can share them with you alphabetically, but I'll spare you. But we cover from Corpus to Harris County.
He said there was free food. Is that so? SD 18, Rick Figueroa, Austin County. Oh, I'm a freshman.
I'm a freshman too. My name is Marion Knowlton, Senate District, thank you, Senate District 19, which goes from 17 counties, from South Bexar County out to Carrizo Springs, to Del Rio, to Alpine, to New Mexico, to Pecos, and back. So it's a very large county, and I'm just delighted to be here, and I look forward to working with you all. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Robert Casillas. I live in Somerset, Texas. I represent SD 19, and I'm a newbie, so I'm looking forward to get to work.
Hi, I'm Hannah Chipman. This is my first term. I'm with SD 20, and I'm ready to work together to get things done. Thank you.
I work for her. I'm Sam Dalton. I represent Senate District 20. That's Nueces, Jim Wells, Hidalgo, and Brooks counties. Glad to be here, third term.
Howdy, everyone. My name is Carla Sisk. I'm a newbie. I'm excited at SD 21 to be here. I live in Hayes County, and 21 starts at Travis and goes all the way down to Laredo and all the way over to B County. And so I'm just excited and honored to be here and look forward to working with y'all as a worker bee.
I'm Terry Harper from 21, which is also Carla's same area, and I live in Guadalupe County, and I'm very happy to be here also.
Ashley Sells from SD 22, Johnson County. It's my first time.
How about you? Sam Bryant. I go by Trip. I'm in Senate District 22, and this is my first time. Thank y'all.
Leslie Thomas, SD 23, downtown Dallas, down south to Duncanville, DeSoto, Cedar Hill, Oak Cliff. Stephen Broden was also elected. I don't know where he's at, but he's here somewhere.
Hi, Summer Wise, SD 24. I'm new, and we have 17 counties. I'm from Travis County.
Hello, I'm Jack Barcroft from Coryell County, SD 24, home to Fort Hood, Texas, the largest military installation in the free world. And I'm going to do some walking.
Hi, I'm Linda Kenny, representing SD 25, Dr. Donna Campbell's district. We have 6 counties. I live in Hayes County, actually live in Dripping Springs, which is just west of Weird, is what we like to call it. Yeah, you get it. Anyway, I'm real happy to be back. This will be my last term. Thank you.
I'm Mark DeRazio, SD 25, San Antonio, Texas. And this is my second term, but before I go on, I need to congratulate the 3 counties who have won the poster contest today. SD 8, congratulations. SD 25 and SD 19, which was the first place winner. So thank you for your entries into the poster contest.
Hi, y'all. My name's Michael Rain. I'm from Senate District 26. I'm proud and honored to serve my first term representing the cradle of Texas liberty. You know, the Alamo, San Antonio.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Marion Stanko, and you're sitting in our District 26, and we want to thank you for coming here and enjoying the home of the Alamo. Our district runs from downtown to UTSA and from SeaWorld to Converse, which is a little suburb of San Antonio. This is round 2 of my 3rd time around. So I've been here a while. So ask me anything.
Hi, my name is James Zavaleta, and I represent SD 27, which is Cameron, Eastern Hidalgo County, Kleberg, Willacy, and Kennedy counties, and I'm from Brownsville, Texas.
I'm Morgan Graham. I'm the Cameron County Chairman from SD 27. I do share Hidalgo with Sam and his boss, Hannah. And this will be my first full term. I finished an unfinished term starting in December. Glad to be here.
good evening, and we're all tired. I understand whoever said that up there, yes. I'm from SD 28. My name is Neva Haney, and I hate to put y'all in the shadows here, but we have 51 counties in SD 28. But appreciate it. I'm a newbie. I do not have my predecessor's wonderful memory, and I don't know all your phone numbers already. So just work with me because I have a lot to learn. Thank you.
I'm Drew Bullard, SD 28. We basically have Lubbock and San Angelo and the other 49 counties, about is population-wise. But this is my second term.
Mark Dunham, SD 29, way out west in El Paso, Texas. I'm a retired Army Intel officer. This is my third term. Glad to be here with y'all.
Hey guys, Dion Starnes. I'm SD 30. We have 14 counties. I live in Denton County, and I'm going to take a moment of personal privilege, James. I want to thank all of the convention committee members. We pulled it off, guys.
Thank you. I'm Britton Brooks. I'm SD 30 as well, brand new. For the next hour, I'm going to tell you all my plans for the. No. All right. Very nice to meet y'all. Very happy to be here. Thank y'all so much.
Hi, y'all. I'm Rhonda Lacey. I'm from SD 31. It's the last of our senatorial districts. And just a little bit of a tidbit of information that you need to know. We have only the 31 senatorial districts. Our forefathers went to the Bible to get that number. Did you know that? That's right, because we have 31 proverbs in the Bible. And with our state reps also, we have 150. Well, it's 150 psalms. So just you read that 31st proverb because I think it's about a woman. I kind of like that one. Just saying. I am in the southern district of 31. I'm Midland, Odessa, Andrews. I'll let my counterpart tell you how far it goes up to the very top, but from one end to the other, it takes me about 6 hours to drive. And we have 37 counties.
Rhonda does the talking. So I live in Amarillo and the northern part of the Panhandle. So we got 37 counties, and this is my fourth term. My name's Tom Roller. I already knew that. So.
Okay. Thank you guys for introducing yourself, and now I've got one more really big introduction. Those of you, most everybody knows me. I'm James, but we've got our brand new vice chair, Alma Jackson.
I look forward to working with each one of you. We're very blessed to live in Texas.
And Alma's from right here, right? It's awesome. We also have a very, very special guest in the room, former Republican Party of Texas Chairman, Steve Munisteri.
Well, if I knew I was going to get that reception, I'd come home more often. And I got a confession. I didn't know I was speaking, and I realized why I got asked to speak. When I was at the party, I always used to joke to my staff, you need to wear a suit and tie anytime you're going to go speak. And a few times I didn't wear my suit and tie is the time that the newspaper came by to interview. So I said, so this is the first day I didn't wear a suit and tie at the convention, and I'm being asked to speak. They asked me to say a couple words. So first I want to say congratulations to our chairman for being reelected. And our new vice chairwoman, who I don't know if she knows, but she just tied Amy Clark's record for being elected unanimously, which had never been happened, right? Somebody in the back said, if I knew it was that easy, I would have run. No, it's not that easy, I promise you. And to the SREC, I just want to say, I saw so many new people. Congratulations. This is going to be a great experience for you. I got elected to the SREC for the first time in 1984, and I can tell you it taught me something, and that is that the work that you do is so extremely important. And if you don't believe that, think about this. What is our ultimate goal? To get our folks there. And who do we have now? We control the U.S. House of Representatives, we control the Senate, and we have President Trump and Vice President Pence in the White House. I want you to think about, just for 1 second, I know it's going to make you a little upset before you go out to eat. If you had President Hillary Clinton, if you had Chuck Schumer right now as the Senate majority, if you had Nancy Pelosi, that's really what the work we do, that's the difference it makes. Can you imagine how different our country would be today? MSNBC would be saying good things on the news, right? But just to let that settle in for a second. Those are the stakes. And that is why, and I'm going to take in a few seconds to say something, from my heart after watching this convention. It's also the reason why it's so important that we recognize that the differences between ourselves are so small in comparison to the huge gap between what we believe and what the Democrats believe, and why it's so important we come together after a convention. And I know that some people, sometimes emotions go, and people, sometimes one side is disappointed and the other's not, and sometimes it's a little tension. You know the reason I know that? I know that because I came in to an SREC when I first started running for chair that only 1 out of 62 supported me, and by the time of the convention, only 19 did. So I had 2/3 of an SREC that was against me. But you know what? We all came together to have success. And the best example, and I think we should follow this man's example, and I've told him this a million times, but Dr. Robin Armstrong, I knocked out of a job because when I beat Kathy Adams, he would no longer be eligible. Dr. Armstrong came up to me afterwards and said, hey, you're now our new chairman. It's a hard-fought race. I support, the party. And he was a total gentleman throughout the entire time I was state chairman. If a man who just lost his job because somebody ran a hard race that got a little heated can do that so we can come together, can't other people do that? Right? And finally, for some of those that are just thinking to yourself, gosh, I still have these feelings. I would just ask yourself, are your feelings that you're having over a race more important than the duty to your country? Are they more important to trying to protect freedom? Is that a bigger sacrifice to give that up than the young men and women who risk their lives every day over in Afghanistan and Iraq? Because, folks, those are really the stakes. So if I would just leave you with one plea. When we leave here, we have to be one party. Because I don't want to see the Democrats beat. I want to see them crushed. Okay? Thank you. Congratulations, Chad.
Well, and now, if our chaplain, Corey Tabor, would open us in prayer.
Let us pray. God, we are so thankful for all that you have accomplished this week in and through us, and we are thankful for all of those who will be serving again in this next 2-year term. We're thankful for those who are beginning their journey on the SREC. Father, would you give wisdom and direction, the ability to partner and work well together, and we thank you for this opportunity, Father, to serve our state, to serve our nation, and ask that you would use us this day. In Jesus' name, amen.
And Nita, would you come up and lead us in the U.S. pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag
now Jason Ross, if you'd come lead us in the Texas Pledge.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
All right. At this time, I appoint as secretary, without objection, Elena Blake. Elena, if you'd wave your hand so everybody can see you. If you have a proxy form, please provide those to her. Sorry. Oh, yeah, actually, Elena, would you mind joining us up here at the front? We'd love to have you up here. And I appoint as parliamentarian Chris Howe. And I appoint as the proxy committee Steve Atwell as chair, Jack Barcroft, and Morgan Graham. If you all would work with Elena on proxies. Anybody have proxies? Please make sure to get them over. I understand our national committee man is in the room, Dr. Armstrong. Everybody else introduce themselves real quick. Would you stand up and do the same?
I am Dr. Robin Armstrong, National Committee Man for the Republican Party of Texas, and glad to represent you on the Republican National Committee. I am in SD 11. And so I live in Friendswood, Texas, in Galveston County, and it is an honor to serve with you. Will be an honor to continue to serve with you the next 2 years. So thank you very much.
I do not see Tony Ann. Anybody? Did I miss her? Okay, no. Please let me know if she comes. Okay, in a moment here, we're going to call the roll, but we need to get the updated one. Oh, actually, while we get the roll and get prepared for that, actually, we got it.
Mr. Chair? Virgil Cruz, SD15.
Yes.
In lieu of roll, could we use the introductions that we just did?
If it pleases the body, without objection, we'll do that. Yeah. If you would raise your hand if you are here by proxy, we'll note that specially. Oh yeah, Will Lutz for 14, and Mark Ramsey's got one in. Oh, sorry, Mark Dunn. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Good. Then once later we'll get the report of the proxy committee, and that should be sufficient. Okay. So in the meantime, while they're doing that, I did want to say along the lines of what Chairman Muniz-Seri said, I have had multiple people today already approach me and say, I didn't vote for you, I didn't support you, but absolutely I'm all in on making sure we as Republicans work together and win in November. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate that and how much I reciprocate and want. So we will have some fun new relationships working together over the next few months. I look forward to it. So while we're working on the proxy report and finalizing the roll, the only real item of business that we must conduct is the adoption of bylaws. Does anyone have a recommendation for adoption of bylaws?
Mr. Chairman, JTA was SD 11. I move that we table the adoption of bylaws to the next SREC meeting in September.
Yeah, if I may, Mr. Edwards, the rules that were passed today allow for amendment of the bylaws at the next meeting with a simple majority. So it would be preferable that we have some bylaws by which to operate, that you guys will then have had some time to review and modify at the next meeting.
Mr. Chairman, Terry Holcomb, SD3, I move that we adopt the bylaws that we were currently using to begin this legislative body here, this SREC body.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to adopt the bylaws that were being used as being used at the end of the last SREC's term. Any debate or discussion on that motion? Yes, ma'am. No, that's why I just said the rules we passed today make it so that after the next meeting, it'll take 2/3 of the entire membership. But at the next meeting, it's a simple majority of those present. Yeah, sorry about that.
Mr. Chairman.
Shame on me. Name and SD.
Gotcha. Michael Rain, Senate District 26. Just a point of clarification. So if we're doing a simple majority for the next round, if we want to modify the bylaws, any subsequent modifications after that would require what, a 2/3 majority?
Correct.
Very good. Thank you.
Of the entire body, not just 2/3 of those voting, 2/3 of the body. Okay. Any further questions or discussions on the motion? Again, the motion is to adopt as your bylaws those that were being used by the last SREC as of their last meeting. Okay. Seeing no further discussion, it takes a simple majority. So with simple majority, I'm happy voice vote's fine. Well, it's adoption of bylaws. Let's go with standing. No? We got to have the roll. The rule requires a roll call vote. Sorry. Without objection, let's do a voice vote. All in favor of readopting the bylaws as of the last SREC's last meeting, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. The ayes clearly have it. Wonderful. Any other business? Oh, yes. I have to appoint officers. So,
Mr. Chairman, do you think it's in order to do the proxies first?
yes. That'll be fine.
Okay.
Sure.
The proxy committee has two proxies to submit, and they're both in order. Mark Dunham of Senate District 29 for Lisa Sprinkle, and William Lutz of Senate District 14 for Fernando Trevino Jr.
Thank you very much for that report.
Point of order, as Randy Dunning, SD 16. Does that do anything to our vote?
No, since I actually participated. We just now noted their names. Okay, so now I need to appoint officers, and so I am appointing as treasurer Larry Hicks. Larry was over there somewhere. Larry, thank you very much, Larry, for serving. For general counsel, I'm appointing Chris Gober, and as assistant general counsel, Trey Trainer and Ross Fisher and Wade Emmert. For parliamentarian, Chris Howe. And now we need to elect an SREC secretary. Are there any nominations for SREC secretary?
Mr. Chairman, Jan Duncan, SD 14. I'd like to nominate Will Robbins.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, JTA was SD 11. I nominate Naomi Narvaez. That's my last name.
Mr. Chairman, Rick Figueroa, SD 18. I nominate Tammy Nielsen.
Sorry, Mr. Figueroa, could you repeat the name? I'm
English
sorry.
is a second language, sir. I'm sorry. Tammy Nielsen.
Thank you.
Mark Ramsey, SD 7. I'm tired of microphones, but I want to nominate Mr. Clint Moore.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ramsey. Any other nominations? Seeing none, this is a secret ballot vote. And we do not have electronic voting available. I know. All right, we're spoiled. Ballot, Brandon. Yeah. Sorry. Brandon, if you could distribute the ballots to the SREC members, I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Point of information.
Yes,
Jack
Mr.
Barcroft,
Barcroft.
SD 24. I take it that all those that have been nominated have already agreed to serve if elected?
That is a great question. I assumed as much, but that would probably be it would probably be worth. And I would also I would think that we should probably have them speak for a minute or two before the election. I figure it would take a while to hand stuff out. Exactly. Any of the four people, first of all, the four people who were nominated, if you are here, please come on up. So Will Robbins, Naomi Narvaez, Tammy Nielsen, and Clint Moore.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
Jason Ross, SD2. Point of information, should we designate a time allotment for each of these nominees to speak?
We should.
Is that made by motion?
Without objection, give each one 3 minutes. 2. Without objection, give each one 2 minutes. Excellent. Okay, you will each have 2 minutes, and you will go in order of the number you just chose. And for the sake of the cameras, yeah, that's true. Could somebody on the front row or front couple of rows be willing to time them so you can kind of give them a 30-second warning and that kind of thing? Pastor Holcomb's got the job. All right. Absolutely. Your 2 minutes may be used however you would like.
Good evening, everyone at SREC. I know you are tired. My name's Tammy Nielsen. I'm from SD6. I served 1 term as a SREC committee woman. I did not rerun because I worked for a county commissioner and found that there was quite a bit of conflict between what my boss's agenda was and what RPT's agenda. However, I still want to serve the SREC in whatever capacity. I had not even thought about running for secretary until I was asked to be the assistant secretary of the convention. And talking to Jim, I found out he was not rerunning, and decided this was a place I thought I could fulfill and do a good job for y'all. I ask for your support and your vote. I have another place I'm supposed to be. I'm doing ballot security across the hall, so I do need to get back there because I left one person in there. But I am going to ask Jim and Don McDonald to speak for me.
Thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you to this body for having given me the privilege of serving as secretary over the last term, and express my appreciation to Chairman Dickey and to Chris Howe for all the work they did and the assistance they were to me. But the most important person was Rachel over here. She did more for me than anybody else. But over the past 2 days, I've gotten to know Tammy much better than during the last term. She's the person in my mind that can fulfill this job. She's dedicated to it, and I've observed how she does her job, and I know she can do a very good job as your secretary.
Greetings. Tammy and Keith Nielsen are longtime activists in Harris County. They've run successful grassroots campaigns against non-Democrat areas, specifically getting elected Representative Ken Legler, subsequently representative in District 144, and then she went on in a Senate District 6 and Precinct 2, longtime Democrat, beat Sylvia Garcia by electing Commissioner Jack Mormon. Please support Tammy.
Okay, who's second? Okay. Ready on time, Pastor? Thank you, Chairman. Members of the SREC, I want to speak from my heart. What's happening is so exciting. It is so energetic. I have now been to 85 of the last 89 SREC meetings since 1995. I served for 8 years from 2004 to 2012, where Mark Ramsey is now. I have served on the Rules Committee since 1996. That's 12 conventions. I have done an awful lot to try and make the process, the rules, and the platform work. My mother started me in 1960. She was a deputy precinct chairman. She worked very hard. I went block walking with her at that time. I can still show you that first house. I worked for Goldwater in every campaign since then. The processes in this SREC matter. I love being part of this team. The reason I keep showing up is because we are a family. We are a real team. And every year, every 2 years, a new group comes in, and they're new team members, and we end up launching into a giant journey after the fun of the convention, and it's 2 years of trying to make a difference in Texas and the United States. I was born in Detroit, of all places, but my father and brother were Texans. And I came down here and I knew this was the place that I wanted to live. I want to help you. I want to coach. I have a tremendous amount of background and knowledge, and I want to help everyone succeed. Being secretary, I can be that oracle. I can be that coach. I can help make sure that everybody is successful. And if you don't want me to do that, I'll be sitting in the back row there to help you. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Naomi Narvaez. I come from Senatorial District 21, Hays County. I am here to give you a minority report. I am running to be your secretary. I want you to know I was an ardent supporter of our chairman for his race. I also support and am an advocate for our genuine conservative values. I do want to continue to serve and influence those values, and my regret is that I did not win my bid by 2 votes to the SREC for my last term, but I enjoy and I have many friends of you on the SREC. I would like to continue to be the second woman, Hispanic woman, on the SREC, since Janie and I were the 2 that did not make it back. So I'd appreciate your vote, I'm trustworthy. I am elected to the, or appointed, I'm sorry, to the City of San Marcos Ethics Review, so ethics and integrity are very important to me. I'm very trustworthy, and I'm very loyal. So I'd appreciate your consideration and your vote. Thank you.
Do we get a minute warning or just 30 seconds? Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Will Robbins. I was a two-term member of this body that ended like a couple hours ago. From Senate District 4, I chose not to run again so I could focus a little more on work, because the traveling of the district and office work were starting to conflict with each other. But several SREC members approached me over the last few days to continue to serve this body and asked me to run for the secretary position. I believe if people in the party ask you to do something, you owe it to them to stick your neck out there and say, all right, I'll put my foot forward and see if this is what the body wants. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm efficient, I'm organized, I'm a little OCD, I'm great with technology, and I have served in various capacities, from the officials committee to chairing the party organization committee to the candidate resource committee. I've chaired state nominations at a convention, and I've chaired various caucuses and things throughout. So I humbly ask you for your support and your vote, and I'll turn my time over to these two fine ladies.
Hi, I'm Jan Duncan from SD 14. I'll speak really quick for Will. Will was one of the first people I met when I came here as a freshman. He approached me, he said hello, he showed me all kinds of things. I know him to be very, very meticulous. He's good with what he does. Like he said, he's very OCD, and he gets along with everyone. And so I think he would work really well with us for as secretary.
I'm Edie Sinclair, SD 18. I've been honored to serve on his committee of party organization. This young man who we need, very organized, meticulous. He would call, he would answer every phone call. He would help us with some computer issues. We need him. He is an amazing worker. He's a hard worker. And I would really encourage you to vote for this young man. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, point of information.
Yes, ma'am.
For those of us who are new, I get the gist that maybe this is an important position. Can you tell us what the secretary does other than take minutes?
Yeah, I want to be sure I get the entire description correct straight out of the bylaws. So. Okay. The Secretary of the SREC shall act as recording officer of the SREC, keeping the minutes and attendance records for all SREC meetings, such records to be retained at state headquarters in a journal for that purpose. If the Secretary is an SREC member, then the Secretary will be a voting ex officio member of all committees. In the event that the Secretary is not an elected member of the SREC, that person shall be non-voting ex officio member of the SREC and all committees. So the official recorder and keeper of the minutes and records. Any further questions, comments, suggestions? All right. Seeing none, now it's time for our secret ballot vote. We have the four candidates. In order of nomination, they were Will Robbins, Naomi Narvaez, Tammy Nielsen, Clint Moore. Feel free to just write Will, Naomi, Tammy, Clint on your ballot. Brandon will collect them. I'd like to appoint a teller committee if Vice Chair Jackson would be the head of that committee, and if you would select a couple of members to join you on that. So, though, Mark Dunham, you voted twice. You had 2 votes, right? 1 for each of you. Thank you. Want to be sure of that. I do want to be sure that we still have 62 votes cast in this. Over there. Actually, yeah, no, this is a secret ballot vote, so I need to cast my vote now. So actually, I need a tally slip. Pardon? Yeah, Alma, you also are allowed to vote, and as a secret ballot, if you are going to vote, you need to do it before the votes are counted. So if you want to let them count for a little while and divide while you and I vote. So there, Brandon's going to bring us each up a slip, and then you and I will be able to vote, and then stand at ease while we tally the votes.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. McCloskey.
Mike McCloskey, Senate District 5. So folks understand this is an election that if no one receives 50%, then we would have a runoff. Is that not correct?
Yeah, being that we don't have, since we adopted no special rules around the election, we'll be following straight Roberts, which would be just a straight revote.
So whoever gets the largest number of votes then would become Secretary of Information.
No, it requires a majority.
Okay.
We would just do a straight revote. There would not be a runoff. We wouldn't be. You would not be restricted from voting for the person who came in 4th.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Chris McDonald, SD6. Regarding the vote count, I would move that for subsequent rounds that the last person being the one who received the lowest amount of votes not be considered in this and subsequent elections till we have a winner.
That's a motion. Is there a second? There is a second. So we have the motion from Mr. McDonald and the second. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing no discussion, all in favor of the motion to drop the lowest vote getter each subsequent round should a subsequent round be necessary to reach a majority, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you. While we're waiting on the count, I neglected to ask for your affirmation for my appointments for treasurer and general counsel. You have heard my appointment. I'm asking for you to ratify them. All in favor of ratifying my appointment for general counsel and for treasurer, please say aye. and the assistant general counsels as well. Sorry. Any opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you very much. I also neglected to mention a very important appointment. Nelda for Sergeant at Arms. Nelda Epps.
Don't you want to collect these, Mr. Chairman? This is the.
Those were for the backstage walk, weren't they?
Oh, we didn't. Okay.
You can frame it and put it up at home. It'll look great. Yes, Mr. McCloskey.
Mr. Chairman, Mike McCluskey, Senate District 5. If, a lot of folks may not know this from the convention. There's a See You in 2020 sign down there, but a lot of folks don't necessarily know where we're going. And I thought it might be appropriate for if anyone in the room does not know where our next convention is to know that.
Absolutely. The next convention in 2020 is back in... Pardon? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, there are only 4 places in the state that are big enough to have our convention. And so we kind of rotate consistently between those. It's been 12 years since we've been in San Antonio. And man, this facility has been nice. Yeah. But they did a lot of upgrades since 12 years ago. The next convention will be in 2020 in Houston. Do you have the results? Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay. The committee being made of 64. A majority would be 33. There was 1 abstention. No. Oh, okay. It's not a majority of the body, it's a majority of those voting. There were only 63 votes cast, therefore a majority is 32. And Will, you got a majority. Congratulations. All right, that concludes the required business for this meeting. Is there any? Pardon? All right, my apologies. Appointment of the Candidate Resource Committee. Okay, pursuant to SREC, well, yeah, I'll go with the recommendation. It actually doesn't matter. That's in accordance with, that's right. Okay, the recommendation is that the SREC members be Steve Atwell, Chair, Virgil Cruz, Vice Chair, Jan Duncan, J.T. Edwards, Sue Evenwell, Marion Stanko, Tom Roller, Dion Starnes, Judy Pareda, Allison Winter, Kathleen Wall, and Ann Gebhardt. And then that the non-SREC members be Fred Tate, Rena Peden, Bob Borchoff, Mona Bailey, Harold Jenkins, and Russell Hayter. The additional members are Lisa Hendrickson, James Beauchamp, Jerry Madden, and Jack Barkoff. We do, and we're gonna provide that written. That is the recommendation from the chair and vice chair of the committee. That's the motion on the floor.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
JTA was SD11. Point of inquiry. Are we at max capacity as far as SREC members on the CRC? Okay, so we are at max.
Correct. So the intent is to retain the committee as close to how it existed a week ago as possible. Because we're in the middle of an election and you're raising and spending money for an election. Noted. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, JTA was SD11. Parliamentary inquiry.
Sure.
Is it appropriate, I think, and I want to ask the parliamentarian, in terms of our committee, I know our bylaws and how we set our committees, is there an opportunity to add an additional SREC member to the existing committee? Given that we have November coming up, and I got genuine concern, and I want to actually utilize the new team that's on board, would it be appropriate, and this is an inquiry, for this member here to nominate somebody to our existing committee?
There is a motion on the floor for the membership of the committee. Yeah. Your motion would either have to be to you could modify the bylaws at the next SREC meeting to allow for more and then appoint someone then, or substitute someone or reject someone on here and then elect someone new. Or sorry, then modify.
Sure. Mr. Chairman, based off your guidance, I move that you strike my name from the CRC committee and instead substitute Kathleen Wall to be on CRC.
Well, she's already on there.
Oh, she's already on? Okay, sorry. Sorry about that.
No worries. Yep. But that is a great idea that she be on the committee. That is a fantastic idea that she be on the committee. Any other discussion or amendment on the committee recommendation? Okay. Seeing, oh. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chairman, Gail Stannard, SD15. I assume that the committee appointments will be made by the chair at the next SREC meeting. Is it possible for information to be given to all of the SREC members, the number of committees, the names of the committees, what the duties are, and how we make decisions about which committees that we would prefer?
Yes, that's actually not germane to the discussion at the moment, but I will cover that topic right after this. I had that down to go over. Okay, so we have the motion on this being the CRC membership. Seeing no, the Candidate Resource Committee membership. Seeing no further discussion, all in favor of the membership of the CRC being this, say aye. All opposed, say nay. The membership is approved. Thank you, gentlemen, and good luck. Okay. So now to the committee appointments, it is my strong preference that we follow a process very similar to what we followed a year ago when I was first elected. And that is that I want to lay out the committees and what they are, and have each of you express your preference on the committees. and then we'll finalize my recommendation for the committee chairs or my appointment of the committee chairs, and then your membership on them. So I want to follow that same kind of process, and it'll take us a little bit to get those lists out to you and have the forms out and all that. And it'll be just like it was a year ago, a very open and transparent process. The point of committees is to do the hard work before stuff gets to the floor so that the body can be as effective and efficient as possible. And that is best accomplished by having people putting their time, talents, and attention and energy exactly where they would like to best point them. So I look forward to that process over the next couple of months so that we can make those recommendations and you guys can approve them at the September meeting. Speaking of the September meeting, it will be September 21st and 22nd at the Wyndham Garden in Austin.
Mr. Chair, point of information.
Yes, ma'am.
Summerwise, SD24. Could we get the vote totals for the secretary vote we just took?
Okay, the vote totals. I assume you know what you want the vote counts for each candidate. Will received 32 votes. Naomi received 16. Clint 8. Tammy 6. Any further questions, discussions? Okay, there's one thing I want to bring up. There was a very public resignation yesterday, and so I would like some people have drawn some conclusions from that have no bearing on the actual facts related. And I would like to be able to address. I would like to be able to address that head on, and to do so would require. I believe it would be appropriate to have an extra audit done, covering the books up through the end of this month. The added cost could be as much as $17,000. That's what we spent to do last year's audit. As you guys have seen, our financials are in pretty good shape, so that we have the available funds. And we, of course, will do whatever negotiation we can do to try to minimize the additional cost it is and try and get them to do whatever. I've already spoken with Treasurer about it. I've already spoken with staff about it. It would be my preference that we use the same audit firm that we've used for years, since they know our stuff. But I would, as we do with the audit committee always, I would recommend that the National Committee man and woman appoint the committee that contracts with the auditor and receives the audit report, exactly as we do on our annual reports, our annual audits. I would appreciate a motion to approve the extra budget expense and the and the process of having the National Committee man and woman do that. Okay, so we've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Yes, sir. Microphone, please, if you would.
I'm Chuck Branch, SD8. I would also recommend that we have an independent committee also oversee the investigation as well as do an accountability of the actual reporting part of it, not just the audit itself.
I'm sorry. Wait. It will be an SREC committee appointed by the National Committee man and woman who handle the relation with the auditor, including retention of the auditor and receipt of the report.
Okay.
Are you suggesting an amendment to add something else?
No, not necessarily to add anything else. I just need a clarification on that. The other part is to, from my understanding, because I did some of the research on this as well, is that independent auditor isn't necessarily going to be able to do discovery or any research on the specifics of the reporting part of it, as far as where the monies came in and went out. I don't think an auditor I'm giving information. Okay, so clarification on exactly what the auditor is going to do.
Well, first of all, that'll be up to the committee to decide in the retention of the auditors.
Okay.
My assumption is they will do a short year version of what they do for us every single year, which does track and tie assets and cash flows and so on.
Is that similar to a forensic audit? No. Okay. All right. Thank you.
You bet. Mr. Figueroa.
Mr. Chairman, being a recovering auditor, I'm on a 12-step program. I want to understand the point of inquiry. The fiduciary responsibility that the SREC has is personal liability. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I will defer to letting the general counsel send you that response. My understanding is there have been some law changes in Texas in the last few years, but I'll let them give you that response.
Okay, for the scope of the audit, I think that'd be important for us to understand, and I'd be very comfortable with the committee man or committee woman pointing, but just to understand the scope of the liability associated with an issue like that. I think the forensic may be appropriate depending on what that scope is. And it may involve board of director insurance and that type of thing. So it should be in some sort of idea, because I think in order to go issue or what we call engage in audit, we need to know the scope. And I think that liability would be a good thing to know for us as SREC members.
Well, the motion on the floor is to spend up $17,000 for a mid-year audit. The committee as appointed by the National Committee man and woman, assuming you pass this, would be able to decide, partly based on cost, what the scope would be. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, Michael Rain, Senate District 26. I'm not sure whether this falls under, it's definitely not a motion or objection of any sort. I'm not sure that it falls under a point of inquiry. Perhaps a point of information. Since I'm not sure, I'm just going to call it a point of personal privilege, if that's okay with the chairman. My background's for those of my colleagues, and since I'm new here, I'm a graduate of the University of Texas with an accounting degree and a government degree. I'm also an attorney here in San Antonio. Thinking like a lawyer, I like to think that sometimes I will do things as a devil's advocate to try to look at the other side, try to look at things from different angles. So I hope you will understand that. The point that I'd like to make is not to be obstructionist, but it's also based upon that devil's advocate, that looking at it from a fresh perspective, and also based upon my training as an accounting major at the University of Texas. You said that you would suggest using the same auditing firm because they're familiar with our accounts and our funds. My suggestion would be that we get a different auditing firm, not because simply to get a second set of eyes to review perhaps what the first auditing firm may have missed in the first audit, the first place. That's my suggestion, and that's my point of personal privilege. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, Jack Barcroft, SD 24. Thinking like someone who has to catch a plane pretty soon, I'd like to call the question.
Okay, the question has been called. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. All right. All in favor of asking the National Committee man and committee woman to appoint an audit committee of SREC members to retain an audit firm to conduct an audit through the first, probably should go through June 30, although that would delay when it can happen, but through at least May 31st. and possibly through June 30. Any other? All in favor of that motion to charge National Committeeman and Committeewoman with appointing an audit committee of SREC members to spend up to $17,000 to conduct a part-year audit of the RPT finances, say aye. All opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you very much. Okay. And yeah, just for a note, the members of the last audit committee were Tom Roller, Will Robbins, and Linda Kinney. They were the ones who chose the last auditor.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Mark Ramsey, SD7. Had some questions with some of the new members. They're wondering if they need some kind of insurance to be SREC members, i.e., are the contracts something that they need to worry about? I'm just wondering what your intent is regarding kind of the way we've been doing things the last few years on that.
Yeah, for the last several years, because of some issues that happened that were discovered under former Chairman Muniseri's entry into the party, we have always required vendors to include in any contracts with the RPT that no personal liability can be attached to anybody as a result of that contract with the RPT.
Thank you.
You bet.
Mr. Chairman, David Halverson, SD12. Just an inquiry whether or not we had, we were talking about the September meeting, do we have a training meeting planned in the interim between now and the September meeting for new members as we have done in the past?
Yeah, I am not advised. We might. I would frankly just recommend they watch the last 2 or 3 SREC meetings. They were all live streamed.
Mr. Chairman, if you do look back, Mike McCluskey, Senate District 5, and David brought up a very valid point. We have been doing this for some time in August, and there's an important purpose for new county chairs, new SREC members. There's training involved that's really important that happens at that meeting. And I understand you're not ready for that today, but you might want to seriously look at doing something.
Sure. Thank you. Noted. I definitely want to say a giant thank you to Kyle and our staff for the work they did. Yeah. Brandon, Rachel, Joanna, John Alvey. They've done an amazing job and kept up with a huge amount of work these last couple of months, and especially this last week. And then I also want to say an extra special thank you to the members, both SREC and non-SREC, who were on the Convention Arrangements Committee. You all did an astonishingly great job, and it showed in the results this week. This was easily my favorite convention. But everything about it, from the exhibit hall to the gala to the registration and how fast that was, the team led by Dion and Rena and Jack. If you guys would stand up, please, you deserve a giant round of applause. And as is our style, as soon as we elected him, we put him right to work. But I'll let Will get a minute to say a thank you.
Just wanted to express my appreciation to the body for your faith in me. I look forward to serving with each and every one of you in a new capacity for some of you, and, well, I guess in a new capacity with all of you, actually. I really look forward to it, and we'll see you at the next meeting. Thank you again.
Any further business? Any announcements? So we have a request for a quick meeting in the corner with Candidate Resource Committee. That's great. Any further announcements or issues? Your information sheet. Please turn those in up here. Thank you. God bless you. We are adjourned.